Who still wants to come out and support Julius Malema that he is not a criminal? Which economic freedom fraud supporter or member can confidently boast of Malema as a man who truly fights for the poor? Absolutely nobody. At the Madlanga Commission, a criminal called Mazzotti was implicated alongside General Khan in a 280 million rand scandal nobody knew about, from leaked WhatsApp messages, old deleted videos and deleted chats that resurfaced during the testimony. The leader of the economic freedom frauds, Julius Malema, was heavily implicated. It was part of the money he used in funding his lifestyle of buying expensive shoes, clothes and designers. This is not a speculation. This is not based on hearsay, but it was Malema himself who confessed to getting money from Mazzotti. But now, we all know where the source of the money Mazzotti gave part to Malema to fund his party came from. If you believe Malema, General Khan and Mazzotti should be jailed, hit the like button, comment Malema to prison, and don't forget to subscribe for more updates. Jabulani, roll out the clip where Malema first exposed his criminal ties with Mazzotti, not knowing that a day will come, both of them will be exposed before we hear the shocking criminal tender he secretly received and has been using to fund his party and lifestyle.
We formed the EFF when the world was still trying to recover from the aftermath of the 2008 global financial crisis. Comrades, our organization today celebrates many achievements, and it is really very proud to have hosted the families of those who had died, in particular the widows of those who died in Marikana. They are here with us today because they are the most important people in our life. We derive our existence from Marikana. Seated here, it's a man called Adriano Mazzotti, and more said. I'll ask them to stand up, because these are the two and part of their partners who have given us money on the day we were launching the EFF. When the IEC asked us to pay for money, me and Floyd had nothing. We looked at each other in the eyes and said, what is going to happen? At that time, they asked for 650,000, and we had no means, none whatsoever. Later to be told through a telephone call, Mazzotti has got a very unique voice. Brother, the money is paid. Then we knew that we were good to go. That is how the EFF was allowed to contest the first election in 2014. We are very proud of Adriano Mazzotti and are not ashamed to associate with him. We don't know his business because he's not our business partner. He donated money to the EFF like all of you who bought tables here. We never asked you, what do you do for your business? We just declared. We declared because it was not a secret that the money was donated by Adriano Mazzotti. So we do not run an underworld, we are running an above world. And do not be scared that we are part of anything Mazzotti does. Mazzotti has never been arrested. Neither has Mazzotti ever been charged. I've been charged. I've been arrested. I've seen the door of prison for my political beliefs. My properties were taken by SARS. I was thrown to the streets.
One, it's clear that he accepts that Carnilinx acquired tobacco unlawfully and wrongfully of 2 tons per week over a period of time. He goes on to explain further contraventions of the law, and he says the unlawful conduct. And here is where he deals with payments to legal advisors. And Chair, what's important about this is that we're no longer talking about tax non-compliance. This affidavit has moved off tax non-compliance at this point. It's talking about fraud and corruption. I'm not going to mention the names of the legal advisors that are named in the affidavit. he does say in relation to at least one of them that you'll see in paragraph 83 of the affidavit. That he persistently referred to his contacts at SARS and in particular mentioned Johan van Lochrenberg and Ivan Pillay. We were naive to believe that he could influence van Lochrenberg and Pillay to favor our company. This we accept now is in a manner of speaking nonsense and that we were misled. But in the process we paid 800,000 rand in cash to this legal advisor. And so on, Chair, Commissioners, to the end of the affidavit. And you'll see at page 52 of the affidavit, again, I'm not sure what page it is in your bundle, is the signature and the date on which it was commissioned, 6 May 2014. Is at page 88.3 of your bundle when you're ready, although we're not going to go through it in detail, Chair, unless you wish to. Thank you, Chair. I think the voice note is ready.
Salam, Zazi bro. Please check with the pilot how many test kits are they looking at ordering, the different departments, because I've got approval. We can distribute it through Carnilinx Industries. I've got the stock as well. I've got the samples, the stock, the samples have been approved by SAPRA. I've got the stock as well, so I want to operate it.
Chair, can I ask that it's played one more time? So it's sometimes hard to follow the first time around.
Salam, Zazi bro. Please check with the pilot how many test kits are they looking at ordering, the different departments, because I've got approval. We can distribute it through Carnilinx Industries. I've got the stock as well. I've got the samples, the stock, the samples have been approved by SAPRA. I've got the stock as well, so I want to operate it.
So that's fairly self-explanatory. It's Mr. Sayed does in that voice note refer to pilot. He says ask pilot. We'll show in due course that pilot is the code name they use. Page 149 of the annexures bundle. You'll see that it's a letter from SAPRA to Carnilinx. And it refers to an application for medical device license. There is a sort of a box in paragraph 1. It's not clear what that's meant to indicate, whether there was some sort of bookmark in the letter, we don't know. what it shows
does it not say they are licensed to manufacture? Isn't that the point?
That's what I'm getting to. Is that what he's trying to say here is that I've done my part now, and he says so a little bit further in the chat, because he sends the next letter, which is on page 151, also from SAPRA, and he says, that's the acknowledgement letter, I've done my part now, waiting for their processes. So what he's saying is the requisite licensing and compliance processes are being followed by him, and that Khan should continue to assist him with the contract. So that's on the 21st of July.
You move on, just even if it may appear to be obvious, just to be clear. The voice note says distribution will be through Carnilinx. I think that's what I think I heard. And we've got this SAPRA letter which talks about a license. But just to be clear, the CSD number that seems to have been used is the BW CSD number, not Carnilinx.
The CSD number that
we referred to earlier. It's a different company. It's a completely different company.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
So 5 days later, page 6210. What we'll see here is a screenshot that General Khan sends to Mr. Sayed. There are two documents. The first is an order. It's the number of masks to be ordered per province. So it's sort of, in a like transversal contract, there will be a procurement across departments, across provinces. This is the numbers of disposable face masks. It's cut off a little bit, but on the left-hand side of the screen, you'll see it says disposable face mask. And so what it is a picture of a screen detailing the number of masks required by different sections of the SAPS. And immediately below that is an extract from Treasury Instruction number 11 of 2020/2021, and it's a Treasury Instruction on COVID procurement. It's on the same page, 6210. It's immediately below the screen. They're all screenshots of this information. So immediately below the disposable face mask numbers. Now, the Treasury Instruction is not internal information. That is public information. It's a rule. It's a regulation that is available to anyone, and particularly to companies who wish to bid for under this contract number. But the screenshot above it would not have been information that was publicly available. That's internal SAPS information that would benefit a bidder.
Is that correct, though? The bottom, it's addressed internally. Maybe you need to clarify the part where you say it's an external document, because if you look at the bottom, that cutoff is to all, and it indicates who it's addressed to. If you go to 6211, it continues. So it is it's addressed to internal people, if we are speaking about the same document.
I'm talking about the screenshot before the Treasury Instruction. So it doesn't have anything about to whom it's addressed.
Yes. So the one at the top, which has which has a breakdown of who needs what.
Yes.
You say that's an internal document.
That appears to be an internal document.
Okay, and then what do you say about the bottom one?
The bottom one is a public document. It's a Treasury instruction. It's addressed to all departments, but it's not something that would be private or internal. It's something that's available publicly.
And you can even Google it. I mean, you can
probably
find it on Google or on the Treasury's website.
Yes, what I was clarifying is by that explanation, you're not saying that it is addressed to the public, because on the face of it, it is addressed to internal people.
Oh, that is true.
Yes.
That is true. I can't see the entire list of entities to whom it's addressed. But it's not a document that is sent to
the public,
to the media, or that. So it's at 83, but at page 98 of the settlement agreement, the date of signature is 27 October 2020, and it was signed by the directors. Of Carnilinx and two of the directors and a SARS representative. And that agreement is, really what it does in a nutshell is it records SARS's position and view that the cigarettes, that cigarettes manufactured by Carnilinx were presented on paper as having been moved and exported lawfully, but that there were no documents to prove a lawful export. So the effect was that SARS treated the cigarettes as having been diverted into South Africa without customs duties, VAT, etc. being paid.
Ms. Assam, I think it's only right, perhaps fair, that you also put on record paragraph 1.1.3 of that settlement agreement. It mentions two specific individuals against whom this debt is raised, and therefore not everybody is a director or shareholder.
Yes, Commissioner Bloy, it says that the amount in dispute means the debt raised by SARS against Carnilinx, the company, of which Mr. Mazzotti, Mr. Phillips, and Mr. Sayed are directors. So it's against the company as well as Phillips and Mazzotti in their personal capacities.
Thank you.
The amount in dispute is about 31.5 million, but the settlement agreement concluded on basis of 25 million and something. So those are, that is the factual basis of the allegations of the conduct of Carnilinx. And then the directors who are engaged in, in that unlawful conduct. The allegations, the admissions in the affidavit of fraud and corruption, we have no knowledge of anything further coming of it, whether there were any charges or whether there was any action that was taken. It's not within SARS jurisdiction to follow up on those, but we don't know if it was referred for any purposes. So we don't have knowledge on that.
Can I again just check in that letter, the submission, if you just bear with me, there is somewhere, there's a paragraph where Mr. Mazzotti implores us to have reference to the original affidavit. Sorry, I had highlighted it. And I had highlighted where he says, he asks us to have regard to the original document or affidavit. And I think
it's paragraph 34.
Hold on.
to place reliance on primary evidence properly before it.
Yeah. And you have said that you have received this affidavit from SARS. It's a copy, if we can just confirm for the record, and you've not been offered the original by Mr. Mazzotti.
No, we were not offered this. So the letter that we received last night points out, I mean, it's signed by Mr. Mazzotti.
Yes.
He points out that what we rely on are media reports, the Ipsos study, etc., which is secondary information, and it's not based on, and he says that we are unable to tell whether the quotations are accurate or not because it's not based on the affidavit itself. But the affidavit was his own affidavit, so he could have placed it before the commission. It wasn't placed before the commission, but as it happened, we had already requested this from SARS. We received a copy from SARS, Commissioner Beloy, and that's the copy that I read out.
Thank you.
I got the impression he was saying he no longer has a copy, so he's not sure whether what is being put up mirrors what is set out in the affidavit.
Is that what was, is that?
No, that's how I understand it, because
maybe he has a copy and not the original. I don't know. All I know is it wasn't offered to us. So, Chair, I mean, all of this is again really just prefacing us now getting into the content of the tenders and the significance of Mr. Mo Sayed and the chat between General Khan and Mo Sayed. And it's not just in relation to his links with the company and his involvement in this conduct in the company, but also other allegations that have been made in the media for some time. And we also detail that in the answering affidavit. It was something that, even Mr. Shongwe referred to when he was here. Those are allegations. There's, again, no charges that we are aware of that have been brought against Mr. Sayed, for example, in relation to the allegation that he was involved in the hit against the doctor, Mr. Munshi. But they're allegations. And I'm not, and the allegations of other sorts of cover-ups, I'm not going to go any further into that. The point is, it's a matter of public record that these allegations are swirling, and I have nothing further to say on it. In that context, I now would like to turn to the WhatsApp conversation. And for that purpose, Chair, we provided a core bundle because it's not even the full version, but the bigger version is about 6,812 pages of WhatsApp conversations. The context is important. So all of those pages are relevant because it provides a context. But for the purposes of the particular aspects of the chat that I'm going to go to, we prepared a smaller core bundle. It may be that we need to exit the core bundle and look at certain other pages, maybe a little bit before the page in the core bundle, a little after, in which case we will alert you, and Chair, you'll have to go there electronically because we didn't print out the 6,800 pages. But I'm confident we'll manage this.
We put away the two files that we were working from.
That's correct, Commissioner Beloy. Now all you will have is the core bundle. This chat. And I've separated out the tenders because there's more than one engagement on corrupting and facilitating an improper tender. They fall under different headings. The first one I would like to deal with is the PPE tender, the protective equipment, personal protective equipment. It was during the time of COVID, and as we know, there was a flurry of activity to tender for provision of protective equipment by several companies. the first exchange. It begins on 12 January 2021.
Page
5695. Sorry, is that in volume 2?
Do we put away file 1 so long?
Yes, Chair.
Okay.
Commissioners, there are several devices that were seized from General Khan on the 10th of May. In these series of chats, we're going to be looking at the conversations, the WhatsApp conversations only, not other parts of the devices that come from an iPhone 8 and from an iPhone 11. The bulk of what I'm going to go through is in the iPhone 11. And this is a chat between General Khan and Mr. Mo Sayed. And it begins at the top of 5695. And what it begins with is Mr. Sayed saying, who can I speak to get contract to supply SAPS with masks with SAPS logo I'm making upstairs, need to sell? The response from General Khan, I don't think I mentioned the date. This is 12 January 2021, and it's at 10:56 in the morning. At 11:06 on the same day, General Khan says, send me samples and prices, please, ASAP. I'm going to see someone tomorrow night who is the possible guy to make it happen. That's responded to as by Mr. Sayed, who says, perfect. And General Khan says, don't forget my birthday present, etc. On page 5696, so the next page, at the top of the page, Mr. Sayed sends General Khan the PPE price lists, and that is contained in the annexure bundle. It's annexures to WhatsApp chats, and it's just one file. And in that bundle, so Chair, in these chats, there are documents that are attached, etc., voice notes. And so that's what this annexure bundle is about. Page 147 is where you'll see the price list that is contained on page 5696. So you'll see on page 147 that it is gloves, masks.
Is it a conscious decision not to fly it?
No, Chair.
Oh.
Chair, you'll see that it's gloves and masks and caps and shoe covers, and the prices are to the right-hand side. And on the same page, 5696, General Khan says, salams bro, I got the samples. And then if we move forward,
I suppose it would be for General Khan to explain what he meant when he says, I got the samples. But this seems to be a reference to something different from the price list, that the samples themselves would have been what he's referring to.
I think it is different, Commissioner Beloy, because when you have regard to the chat we went to before, he said, send me the samples and price list. This is the price list. I think the samples might have been sent physically, obviously. So he's reporting that he received the samples. I can only put two and two together there.
They came with the birthday present. They were not the birthday present.
The birthday present was a separate package.
Yes.
Thank you.
So this begins then in January 2021. But the next chat I'd like to take the Commission to is on 18 May 2021, where, so you'll recall in the earlier chat, General Khan says there's somebody I'm going to be seeing tomorrow or whenever to assist with this. So on 18 May 2021, and that's page 5899. At the top of the page, Mr. Sayed says, Brew, let me know what the procurement for SAPS say for the masks. And General Khan responds, are you on CSD? Mr. Sayed says, what's that? Now, we do know that the CSD is a central supplier database, and we don't know what further communication took place to assist Mr. Sayed to get onto the central supplier database. But that takes place in May. The next exchange on this tender takes place on the 4th of June, 2021. Sorry, can you just take this? And that's at page 6025.